Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome to the To Serve with Love YouTube Hub. This YouTube Hub was hosted by my friends Sandy and Sandra, and I want to thank you both for letting me join in the fun. So when I learned that this hub was about a masculine theme, I was all for it because a bunch of you requested me to do more masculine theme items, and I thought this hub was a wonderful idea. So for all of us to bring to you different options on what to create for that father figure, your brother, you know, your husband, fiance. So I created this journal. This is actually a field book kind of journal. It is a journal, but it's more field book inspired, and I will tell you why. I made this one especially for my brother, and my brother is an archaeologist, and he's always on the field. He's always taking notes. He's always traveling, meeting new people, and always, you know, from point to point. He's amazing. And he's also a writer. He writes a lot of poetry. He's published a couple books, and he's just an excellent. I admire him so much in the personal level and the professional level. I love my brother. I made this especially for him. So like I said, this is a field book. I use my pen. I use the authentic rug collection, and now this is something that I found a Tuesday morning a couple months ago, and I grabbed it right away. This is what I came up with, and so I made this from scratch using leather, as you can see here, and this leather smells wonderful. And then this is also a leather belt. Now I picked up this the leather block and belt cutout. This already came as a cutout like that. I picked both from Michael's, and the pages inside are some from the authentic collection, and some are just a bunch of engineering paper and coffee dye paper, so he can do, you know, a lot of note taking, and he always draws like diagrams or maps. And the way I picture my brother's journals, it's like Indiana Jones style. So that was my inspiration behind it. Now you can see that this belt kind of wraps a lot of times around the journal, and I love it. I love how bulky it is. I love that the belt here is the main statement of the journal. And so, but on the reality, I don't know how practical it is to have it on the field when you open it up and you have this long belt hanging from it. So the leather is really soft. So I made the binding myself, and I have a full tutorial on how I made this from start to finish, and I will play that video right after this one. So if you want to see the whole process, please stay tuned. But don't forget to follow the hub, and make sure you subscribe to everyone on the hub and leave a comment to everyone of the hub. In the hub, we will be checking in terms of, you know, winning the giveaway. Now my giveaway is going to be a cash prize, just because I want to make sure that my international subscribers are also, you know, participants to this hub giveaway. So my price is going to be $20 to your PayPal account, and again, it will be open to US and international. Now let me walk you through the journal field book. It's a very simple, it's very simple. So the binding I punched 2 holes, and I use one elastic band here. Now this elastic band that you see, I recycled from one of my daughter's headbands that they don't use anymore. And this book, it's almost like a journal, like a traveler journal, because you can remove these, see? And then this, you know, he can, you know, if he fills these up, then I can probably make another one for him. So, you know, so he can keep the outside cover all the time. So I will just walk you through really quick here the paper, and then this is probably the only embellishment that I use for this journal, which is this theme holes metal piece that says enjoy the journey. And so then I did use my typewriter to make a little note here that says to my brother, whom I love and admire, and then I just sign it. And then I use some coffee dye paper, like I said, a lot of engineering paper because I know he takes a lot of measurements and things like that. And here on these papers he can draw his diagrams, maps, or whatever it is he does. And then I wanted to make some pockets. Like I say, sometimes he you know, he's always on the field, meets a lot of people, so he can probably put some business cards in there. These are just left plain. So very simple. Again, a lot of room for journal. Another one of these cardstock papers with a pocket, and that is, you know, it repeats over and over. I did put a lot of pages in here. Another one of the file folder kind of concept. Basically, that's it. A lot of room for him to write and take notes and do, you know, very manly. I figure he wouldn't like any fancy paper clips or, you know, just something practical, no tags or anything like that, because they will all be falling on the fields. And yeah, so then that was about it. You will see in the tutorial that I kind of wanted to stitch this, but it was just so hard to stitch it. Then I decided, you know, I'm just gonna glue it. And then this wraps around like this, like I said a couple times. And then I don't know, I just tuck under here and go around. So make sure that you check out all the participants on the hop, and I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. For this project, we're going to be using some leather picked up from Michael's. Then also this little string I'm not gonna use actually, and the authentic collection that I'm using is called Rudge. And then I'm also gonna use some engineering paper, graphic paper, and coffee dye paper. So I'm gonna start by cutting my design paper into 8.5 by 11, and I just picked a couple of different ones that I feel that are more travel theme, and I really like the brown colors. And this one was really pretty. This one had the map designs, so that was perfect for my theme. Then I'm folding all my paper, my coffee dye paper and my graphic paper into halves, and that's going to create the pages from my journal. So all I do is just alternate the different papers with the design paper as well, just to have a variety of different pages on my journal. So then I grabbed the leather that I got. This one is Art Minds. Like I said, you can find it on Michael's. And so this measures exactly 8.5 by 11. Now I also picked up this belt, also from Art Minds, and I thought it would make a really nice closure for my journal. I picked up this other string just to have a second, you know, like a different option, but I ended up liking the belt just a little bit more, so that's the one that I'm going to attach. Now I'm just using my fabric tack glue to place the belt in there. I was going to stitch it in, but it was a little bit too hard, and I decided just to stick with the glue. So here I'm marking at the center about 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and I'm just marking, and I'm gonna punch some holes in those two spaces. I'm using the smaller side of my crocodile. I'm using the 1/8 of an inch. I think it's the size of the hole. I'm using the smaller one because when I pass my elastic through, I want to make sure that it's not going to come back after I add the knot. So as you can see, I'm gonna start on the top hole, and then I'm gonna go on the second one, and then here is where I make the knot. And this is why I wanted the hole to be smaller, so it won't, my knot won't pass through. And then this time again, I'm gonna start on the top, and then I'm kind of using my needle to help me pull it out because it was a little bit hard to do that. And then again, I'm gonna go to the second hole, just like that. And before I make the knot on this one, I want to insert the journal and make sure that I have the like the right tension, so it's not too loose or not too tight, and I want to make sure that it won't fall. And then I go ahead and make the knot, and then I fix it, take that out, and then just trim the excess with my scissors. So before I stitch my signatures, I wanted to use my typewriter and just write a little note to my brother so he remembers that I make these especially for him. And I just love the vintage feel of the typewriter. So then I go ahead and use some twine and put it into my needle and just pass it through the center. I do one side, and just like I've done my other journals before, you guys have seen my other tutorials. So I just go one time around, and then I just tie it on the center. So I wanted to add my signature for, like a person, give it a personal touch. And then I add the journal, and then I decide to use my scrap pieces of paper to create pockets for, the cardstock pages, kind of make them into like file folder kind of pockets. So I just trim the corner to make it look more into like a file folder, and then I just add some glue around the sides. And these little pieces, I believe, measure 4.5 by 3 inches, so I'm pretty sure that's the size of those. So I just add several ones throughout the journal so he can have lots of places to add little notes or whatever he might need to keep from his field trips. Finally, I just add this little Tim Holtz metal embellishment, and I hope that you guys like this tutorial. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.